Hey guys, welcome back to another Clash Royale video. Today I want to share with you my top 3 recommended decks for pushing up to Legendary Arena without any Legendary cards required or even Epic cards, just to make it easier for everyone to have access to all these cards as well as to upgrade them. That being said though, if you guys have some Legendary cards and you want to use them, I'll try my best to offer some suggestions for each deck, different versions that do incorporate some Legendary cards, and near the end of the video, I'll go ahead and highlight a couple of Legendary card decks that I would recommend for pushing up to Legendary Arena. And if you guys have any questions at all about cards you want to replace in any of these decks, feel free to ask in the comment section down below. Let's go ahead guys, take a look at deck number 1. Alright, so the first deck that I want to recommend to you guys is a Hog Rider deck. Now, Hog Rider is my personal favorite strategy to use, and there are so many different successful Hog Rider decks that you can use to push up to Legendary Arena, but the one I want to show you guys today is a fairly balanced version featuring the Elite Barbarians. And the great thing with the Elite Barbarians is they are a common card and very easy to upgrade to a competitive level, and they're also a very strong counter to the Royal Giant, which you are more than likely to encounter on your push up to Legendary Arena. Now, in case you guys don't have the Elite Barbarians upgraded, you can use regular Barbarians instead. Just keep in mind that regular Barbarians are a bit different than the Elite Barbarians. Regular Barbarians are more of a defensive card that can be converted to a counter push, whereas the Elite Barbarians are more of an offensive win condition card. Some other cards that you can switch out in this deck if you don't have them: the Ice Golem can be switched out for a Knight, although in my opinion the Ice Golem is far superior to the Knight if you have it. The Musketeer can be subbed out for archers, or even an Electro Wizard if you have it, and the Fireball can be subbed out for a Poison Spell if you have the Poison Spell upgraded. Now, 2 other decks, Hog Rider decks, that I would recommend using if you want to. The first would be the 2.6 Elixir super fast cycling Hog Rider Trifecta deck. The only thing I will say about that deck is it does require a bit more practice and time to master and get really good at it. The other deck is, if you have a Princess, I would suggest trying out a Hog Rider Princess Zap Bait hybrid deck. Now, so far in this battle we're doing pretty well. His tower is sitting at 310 health. He is a level 10 though, but he's rocking that classic level 12 Royal Giant, guys. So we have a pretty strong lead so far, only a minute and 17 seconds left in this battle. And all I really have to do is play defense for the final few moments, and I should be able to fireball him out and get the victory. Now, he does come in there with the Royal Giant. I do misplace the cannon a bit, and I'm forced to use the Zaspel to force the Royal Giant to retarget to my cannon. But overall, not too bad, because there's only a minute or so left in this battle, and I have a pretty strong lead so far. So I'm going to go ahead and just fireball that Princess right there, because I want to get that chip damage done to the tower, and now all I need is one Zaspel to finish the tower off, although we do manage to finish the tower off with a Hog Rider push. So I'm going to go ahead and use the minions to counter the Miner, and then the Ice Golem to distract the Mini P.E.K.K.A. And he's trying desperately here to come in with that Royal Giant, but we're going to keep the pressure on and prevent him from setting up a push with that Hog Rider going down, Fireball going down, taking out his tower, giving me the 1 crown lead. Now he drops the Goblin to kill my Musketeer. Gonna go ahead here and just distract the Goblins with an Ice Golem, and then use the cannon to distract the Royal Giant further, because all I'm really trying to do is buy myself time to wait for that 1 crown victory. So as you can see, Royal Giant going down in no time. Minions, Musketeer going back to hopefully finish off the Princess, but I'm gonna go ahead and just use Elite Barbarians for fun, because there's only like 7 seconds left, and we are able to get that 1 crown victory, guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at the second deck that I would recommend for pushing up to Legendary Arena. Alright, so deck number 2 is going to be a Giant support deck. And the reason I want to recommend a Giant support deck is they are fairly easy to understand and pick up and play without too much practice beforehand. Now, this particular version in the replay that I'm showing is fairly intensive on the rare cards, so if you guys want an option that has more common cards in it, I will show that on the screen as well. And also, if you guys are fortunate enough to have some legendary cards and some epic cards upgraded, there is an Electro Wizard Executioner version of this Giant deck that is very strong for pushing up to Legendary Arena. Now, the main strategy of this Giant Elixir Pump deck, as well as pretty much any Elixir Pump beatdown deck, for the first 2 minutes of the battle, your main priority is getting as many Elixir Collectors as you can down. Ideally, you want to have 2, if not 3, by the time the double Elixir period hits. In that case, it's pretty much GG, because you have so much Elixir, you just come back and overwhelm your opponent. And this is very much a comeback deck, guys. Fairly often you trade tower health earlier on for the pump advantage. I think in this battle, he has my left tower down to 10 health and my right tower down to 1,000 health, and we managed to come back for the 3 crown. So far, things aren't looking too good. He has the damage lead, but we're going to go ahead and use our second pump right in the middle there. You never want to put your 2 pumps together and give your opponent spell value in case they have like a fireball or a lightning spell or something like that. In fact, if they have a miner or a rocket deck, you want to use the pump in the middle between both of your towers. If they have a poison or a fireball or a lightning deck, then using it behind the towers there, alternating which tower it is on, is best. So far things are kind of going okay. He tried to go in there with the lumberjack. We took it out with the minions. Minions going back on a counter push, getting a couple of hits off. So he still has a damage lead at this point in the battle, but as you can see, we have another full health pump going down. Now, normally, the Mini P.E.K.K.A. now, which is one of the reasons I love using it, is a very strong counter to stuff like Elite Barbarians as well as Royal Giants, but a level 8 Mini P.E.K.K.A. just can't compete against almost max level Elite Barbarians, as you saw there. The Mini P.E.K.K.A. died pretty much before he got any damage done to Elite Barbarians, so it is a bit level dependent, like I said before. If you wanted version with more common cards, I will show on the screen as well. Now, he comes in pretty aggressively here on the right-hand side with the Lumberjack, the Bowler, as well as the Princess. The Lumberjack does get some good damage into my tower, but now that we are in the double elixir period, I want to start putting the pressure on and going for the 3 crown. And as you can see, because of all the elixir we had earlier on, we have so much pressure going on. We got a giant minion ice golem push on the left, a giant musketeer push with another ice golem on the right-hand side, and he just can't defend this push because of all the elixir that I had earlier on. So we're doing work to the king tower right there. We're doing work to his crown tower on the right-hand side. And in a few short moments, we get that 3 crown victory, guys. So there we go. Mini P.E.K.K.A. on the tower, minions, giant musketeers, and boom, down goes the king tower. 3 crown victory for us, guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at the final deck. Alright, so the final deck I want to share with you guys is a Royal Giant deck. Now, I know how a lot of you might feel about the Royal Giant, but honestly, guys, it's one of the best options for the average free-to-play player because it's one of the only very strong win conditions that's also a common card, making it very accessible to everyone. And also, it synergizes very well with a bunch of other common cards, giving everyone access to these decks. In this battle here, the deck I'm using has a bunch of common cards. The Barbarians, the Minions, the Ice Spirit, as well as the Archers. The only rare card in this deck that is kind of level dependent is the Furnace itself, because a 1 level lower Furnace, the Fire Spirits get one shot by the tower, and they won't make it there, as you can see in this battle here, because my Furnace is 1 level lower. Now, some other versions of a Royal Giant deck that incorporate legendary cards if you have them. The top 2 that I see that I would recommend would be one, a Royal Giant Miner deck, and the other would be a Royal Giant Princess Ice Witcher strategy. Now, in case you haven't noticed already, I'm rocking a level 10 Royal Giant in this battle, which is proof you don't always need a high level Royal Giant to make it work, because my opponent has some level 9 rare cards, level 9 Mini P.E.K.K.A., level 9 Infernal Tower, which is almost the same level as my common card, the Royal Giant, which is only level 10, but we somehow still managed to make it work. And just for reference here, all the battles in this video were at around 4,300 trophies or so. Now, we have the Furnace down on the right hand side. Unfortunately, every single Fire Spirit spawn isn't able to make it to the tower to do damage because my Furnace is 1 level lower, but we're still able to make it work to support our Royal Giant pushes. He has a damage lead so far in this battle, with my tower staying at 1800 health. I'm going to go ahead and just sit back with the elixir. I know he has the Infernal Tower in his deck at this point in the battle, so there's 2 main ways to use a Royal Giant, and it really depends on what kind of cards your opponent has in his hand and in his deck. For example, if you know your opponent has a very strong counter card in their hand, don't use the Royal Giant on the bridge. Instead, use it behind your King Tower. That'll give you more time to build up a stronger push and build up elixir for support cards like the Minions to go over the river and take out the Infernal Tower. In this case right here, we tried to do that, but unfortunately, it just wasn't fast enough. The level 10 Royal Giant dies too fast, Infernal clearing it out pretty quickly. But the thing with that is, you have to keep track of your opponent's card rotation. Once you know their counter card is out of rotation, then try and go in immediately with the Royal Giant right at the bridge to punish your opponent. So now, the tower on the left-hand side is going to be a bit lower here pretty soon. So we're going to switch up our focus to the tower on the left instead of the tower on the right-hand side. So as soon as we hit 10 elixir, going to go ahead and do a Royal Giant behind my King Tower on the left-hand side of the arena. And the cool thing with that is he pushes the same lane as the Royal Giant, which allows me to spend elixir on defense and also have some defensive troops surviving to go back on a counter push and support my Royal Giant. So we got a Royal Giant right there with minions up front as well as archers in the back. Gonna go ahead and use the Ice Spirit because I know he has the Inferno Tower in his hand. Unfortunately, the Ice Spirit does die to the Princess as well as the Tower, but we get past the Inferno Tower there because we use the Royal Giant behind my King Tower. And at this point in the battle, I know he's fairly low in Elixir, and I know the Inferno Tower is probably out of his card rotation, so we're going to go in with an immediate Royal Giant drop at the bridge. Now, he doesn't have the Inferno Tower available because we have the Ice Spirit, the archers there. He tries to do a minor push on the right-hand side instead, but overall, guys, we have a Fireball going down, Royal Giant doing work, Zastball going down, 325 health left on his tower. At this point in the battle, all we really need to finish it off is a Fireball Zap combo. Or, if I would have had a level 11 Royal Giant, the extra damage per hit would probably be 325 when we'd already have the 1 crown victory. So Fireball going down with that Zastball, give me that 1 crown victory, guys. So there you have it. Those are my 3 decks that I would recommend without any legendary cards for pushing up to Legendary Arena. Now, in case you guys do have some legendary cards and you want to use them on your push up to Legendary Arena, I'll go ahead and recommend a couple of legendary card decks right now. If you had the Graveyard, my top 2 recommended Graveyard decks are either a Giant Graveyard or Ice Golem Bowler Graveyard Cycle. If you had the Lava Hound, I would recommend either a Lava Hound Balloon strategy or Lava Hound Miner Lightning. And if you only had the Miner, you can go ahead and use a Miner Goblin Barrel Zap Bait deck. Or if you also had the Princess, go ahead and use a Miner Princess Chip Cycle deck. Anyways, guys, that is the end of the video. If you guys have recently pushed up to Legendary Arena yourself, please share what deck you used in the comment section down below. Maybe you'll help someone else out. But if you enjoyed the video, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for some more Clash Royale content. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We will see you in the next one.